swing. Glasses clink, hear the ice cubes sing. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. There's Troy laughing with his gin and a grin, telling stories about where he's been. Boomer's got whiskey, he's loosening his tie, chasing dreams under a midday sky. The bartender knows us, he's mixing with flair. Every sip's a moment we're happy to share. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. The clock don't matter, we're lost in the vibe. Jazz in the air, feel the soul come alive. From martinis to bourbon, we're riding the wave. Stealing this hour, it's the freedom we crave. The sun's still shining, but we're in our zone. This bar's our shelter, our temporary home. One more round before the world calls us back. Savor the moment, keep the blues in the rack. We'll laugh and we'll toast till the afternoon fades. Memories made in these liquid escapades. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun. Our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon. Chasing that jazz under the high noon.
Salute and welcome. Happy Friday. We have made it to the halfway point of the week. Literally the halfway through the day, halfway through the week. Salute. That's something to celebrate, right? But today is Wednesday, so here on Last Call's Liquid Lunch, we say WTF. There's a bunch of things that I wanted to share with you. I'm going to see how many of them I can get in today. Normally, I just have like one article that we talk about, and then after the promos, we get your reactions and stuff. I got a couple of things, so we got to move it along, but I am not going to skimp out on saying hi to the people in the chat, including the late and missing Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips. It says, hey, check X, I'm sorry that I had to change truly last minute. It has been rescheduled and set. Yes, so I was supposed to be on with Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips on his Rumble channel for a watch party of Tron Ares. You might remember me mentioning that on Monday. And I had said I would post the stream as soon as it went up, and it never did. So looks like he's rescheduling for February 1st at noon. I'm not sure if I can make it that day, but we'll see what happens. Happy Wednesday, Liquid Lunchers. Just got home from the dentist. Freshly clean choppers. Have a great show, Troy. Yeah, I did that a couple weeks ago. Got the obligatory lecture from my dentist, and have to go for a follow-up on Wednesday to see if I'm being good with my my flossing. Hey, you guys made it, says Storyman Jack. Well, check out Storyman Jack. Haven't seen you in a while, my friend. It's been a minute or two. Make sure you follow Storyman Jack for some good stories, including a novel that will be done in 6 months or less. He will be launching the crowdfund then. So, Storyman Jack, make sure you DM Netters Network on X and see if we can't schedule you a spot on Thursday, on her Thursday show, to discuss that and get the word out about that as much as we possibly can. Connie Cleary, the Bird Woman of YouTube and Fluff Chick Productions. Welcome, my dear. Good to see you. Speaking of Netters Network, she comes to tell me that I am the love of her life. She tells me that every day. I think today she's telling me that because she knows I'm going to mix up some chorizo for her right after the stream. Like, share, subscribe, become a member, leave a comment, gift a membership. Yes, please do all those things. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And I'm sure I haven't gotten there yet. If Nate is here, he's probably already dropped a comment that I will get to in a moment, where he talks about gifting a membership to help our family grow. And just to encourage you that really does work. There was someone who was a previous member who had fallen off the roll, couldn't afford to, and if you can't afford to support a YouTube channel, by all means, there are non-financial ways you can support the people who do what they do here. Do not put yourself through hardship to do more than you can afford to do. But he was gifted a membership, which kept him on the roll. And then he must have gotten the renewal notice. You get a renewal notice in your email saying, you might want to renew if you want to stay. And he did renew. He renewed at a lower level, but he stuck around. So I want you guys to kind of get that vision that those gifted memberships actually do make a difference and encourage people to become or remain a member of this Last Call Martini Gallery. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Mech Paul, it is lunchtime. Ready for another WTF Wednesday. Like, share, subscribe, and become a member. Or you may be saying, WTF, on your way to the dilithium mines of Roropente. Look, when Scotty said, better to kill him now and get it over with, being sent to Roropente is a sentence worse than death. Hail all, smash the like button and enjoy the show, says friend of the channel, Jonathan Conroy. Thank you so much, my friend. Did I say happy Friday instead of happy Wednesday? Oh, well, that tells you where my eyes are. My eyes are on the weekend. My eyes are on a last call. But that's okay. That's okay. Everyone knows what I meant. Although if I've confused you and now you think it's a different day of the week, well, I would rely on your Echo Dot or something more than a rando on the YouTuberies. The Bosco Scenario. Sup, bud? How you doing? Good to see you. Salute to you. It's been a minute. Glad you're here. Stay with me. I want to get through all the greetings, and then we will get to our WTFs for Wednesday. See, what did I tell you? I predicted it, and here it is. Like, share, subscribe, comment, become a member, and if you were going to give a super chat of $5 or more, why not gift a membership instead and make our family grow? And I was just sharing that really works. It really does. PJ of Orville Nation, salute, sir. Good to see you. Good to see you. So, Netter, keep an eye on your DMs for a message from Storyman Jack. And yes, Nate, are you feeling better? He says, I feel just as bad as I left yesterday, except today I have a migraine headache. I am sitting right now in almost total darkness, except for the computer screen. Well, honestly, you don't really need the computer screen. you could turn that light away from you and just listen. I don't do this as a podcast. I haven't looked into podcasts yet, but really, you just looking at my ugly face, it's not worth it. It's not worth the pain my face will inflict on you. But this is why I always end the show saying hydrate, 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 hydrate. When you are sick, it is very easy to spend a lot of time sleeping and not drinking water. Drink and hydrate. That is 90% of your migraines, I promise you. Well, maybe that's an overly large ratio, but it's a majority. Trust me. Let's see here. Doopy-doo. Guys saying hi to each other, which I love to see. And Charlotte Nightstar comes in to say, "Ow!" And hello, everyone. Hello, Charlotte Nightstar, and happy unbirthday. Happy day after your birthday. Let's see here. Yes, and she's also reiterating like, share, subscribe, gift a membership. It's worth it. That is sweet. That is very sweet of you. Thank you very much. Weekend? What's that? Yeah, for those of you in service industries, you may still have to work on the weekends, and you're lucky if you get a day off floating throughout the week, right? Continuing to scroll, and I think I've just gotten to the end. The last comment here I'm seeing is, I can muster drinking 6 gallons of water between yesterday and this morning. Yeah. It's good. It is a good thing to do. Keep in mind, it's not just about hydrating to prevent a headache. You are flushing things out of your system. Your system is working overtime to remove bad things. And the bad things are filtered out by the liver and the kidneys. Troy isn't ugly. He's adorkable. Yeah. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. That's a nice way of saying ugly. He's adorkable. Thank you so much. Let's get to our first WTF of the day. I guess the first WTF is I still have my icon up from Sherlock Holmes yesterday, but that's okay. That's not a big deal. That one you should kind of expect. No, the first one comes to us from Scott Gustin on X. This is new. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland, of course, that's the one in California, the smaller one, will expand its timeline on April 29th, bringing Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Leia Organa, and Han Solo into the land as it expands to include the Galactic Civil War and New Republic, as well as the Age of Resistance and First Order. Now, on the one hand, speaking of Jedis, let's say hi to Jedi Master 2022, who came to say, hey, Troy and Netter, welcome, welcome. So you see this, and you're probably thinking, so, who gives a crap anymore? You know, they closed up that fake cruise of theirs, the Star Tours, or whatever they were calling it, because no one was interested. Nobody's watching Star Wars anymore. Nobody's buying most of the toys. So why do we care? This would have mattered if they did it back when they first started it. It would have made sense. This is way too little too late. Oh, thank you so much, Jedi Master 2022. Drops a $2 super chat to say, hope you and Netters are well. Well, I don't want to speak for Netter. She may have a different opinion. I think she's doing great. Just saw her about 15 minutes ago. I'm doing well. I'm doing better than I was earlier in the week, to be honest with you. I agree. Stone Cold Loki. Hoo-hoo, we got YouTube royalty here. Thank you so much. Too little, too late, and too lame and gay. Absolutely true. I agree. again, Mark Malnikoff, who is working in the retail industry and sees this firsthand, is saying some toys that don't sell still on the shelves 5 years later, which makes me kind of wonder what is the cycle by which they leave retail to go to a place, a liquidation place like Ollie's or something like that, that you would still have them on your shelves all this time. Jedi Master says you're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But let's get back to this discussion here. So I agree with all of you. I started out, I kind of prompted you. I said it. Who cares? What does it really matter? Yes, please make sure you subscribe to a wonderful channel who is having the same kinds of struggles that I do with the whole monetization situation and unfair practices by the platform. Go check out what she does there. She's a wonderful writer. She does some great music. Go check it out, and I'm sure she's got alternate ways that you can support what she does. Just a dude commenting on another dude about something no dude watches anymore. Have a good one, Troy. Thank you so much. Stone Cold Loki, who is the channel to start your day with. You know, before you come to Liquid Lunch, go hang out on Stone Cold Loki's first thing in the morning. I know Netter does. Usually I'm a little slow getting started in the morning, and I'm, quickly trying to get my stream together. But Netter is keeping an eye on our boy Loki. So she did get her monetization back. Well, that's great to hear. I think we preached it well, and for them to give it back. I don't know. It's like a flip of the coin, the roll of the dice when it comes to this platform. But be that as it may. So again, I will agree with all of you. Too little, too late, stupid, ridiculous. But it still made me go WTF. WTF meaning not necessarily good, not necessarily bad, but it makes you do the whole Jackie Chan. You know, what are they thinking over there? So one would giving them the most benefit of the doubt, the most optimistic benefit of the doubt, we would say, well, maybe they're shifting because they want to start making money, right? They want to get people into the parks. Nobody is going to Galaxy's Edge because nobody is interested in their sequel trilogy bullcrap, right? So let's see if all these haters have been right all along. Let's get the original trilogy. Excuse me, the original trilogy people in there to start generating some buzz and interest. I gotta say, Darth Vader, stormtroopers and whatnot. Yeah, fine. But when I heard, they were getting Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, and especially Princess Leia, Princess Leia should be treated as a frickin' Disney princess. She always should have been, and she never has been. So yeah, I think it's about time. Now, I'm actually surprised. I've been kind of keeping an eye on the comments, and I didn't see anyone comment about, but they're keeping the Galaxies, the new, what do you call it, New Republic, Age of Resistance, and First Order stuff in there, which does seem a little weird, doesn't it? Not that they would do it. I'll get back to that in just a second. But how do you have both? In the same place? You can't really have Kylo Ren and Darth Vader coexisting at the same time. You can't really have, Galactic Empire stormtroopers and First Order stormtroopers. Two completely different time periods. It's I don't get it. It's like trying to have World War One and World War Two at the same time. Now, those of you that actually know your history realize how ridiculous that would be. There's a lot of people that go, it's basically the same thing, right? Germans, it's all the same. Looking at you, Warner Brothers. Wonder Woman. Just swap out World War II for World War I. Whatever, it's the same thing. I'm afraid that's kind of what Disney might be doing here, but at the same time, take heart, my friends. Take a little win here, a little satisfaction of being proven right, right? Because what this is going to do is this is going to send people into the park, and they're going to start getting their picture taken with Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia, and they're still going to be ignoring Rey. You know, the pixie dusters will still go because they got to catch them all, right? But the fans will all be lined up for the OGs. And it's just like a knife in Kathleen Kennedy's side, and everyone in that camp, you know. And people like us are sitting here going, "We told you so, told you so, told you so." They killed it. The sequel trilogy was shit, and everything they attempted is so woke and so far away from Star Wars, what Star Wars is supposed to be. I'd say it's not even woke anymore. It's just sad. They're not even trying to be woke anymore. It's just blah. It's just regurgitate more content, more content, more content. I wrote a script that's incomplete that is way better than all of modern Star Wars. That a friend told me. I'm hoping to write a trilogy. I would love to see that. Jason Fox of 540 Studios. Glad to see you, my friend. He's celebrating 3 months of membership. Good to see you. Good to see you. He's one of our international viewers, so it may not be lunchtime where he is. Make sure you give him a follow because he's got a great channel. Got to catch them all because he's Danny Phantom. Yes, exactly right. Star Wars died a long time ago in a galaxy not so far away. But this was not, I didn't mean to spend that much time on it. Just wanted to share this with you. And again, this is Disneyland. They tend to roll these things out at Disneyland first, and before it comes to the larger Magic Kingdom. So keep an eye on that. If you are even someone who is interested in going to that park, when Netta and I go down in March, we won't be going to Disney. They will not be getting any of our money. We will instead be going to Epic Universe. More on that in a future stream. But let's continue. As long as we're railing on Disney here, you don't hate Disney enough. Disney World denies a 2-year-old transplant survivor disability access. Let me ask you, what is the point of disability access if you're going to deny it to someone who has a disability? You don't have disability access. And there was a time that I remember in the 70s when there was a large push by the supporters and lobbyists for disabled Americans that said, look, everything must be handicap accessible, both for fairness reasons and for safety reasons. And there were laws passed that pretty much agreed with them on that point. So let's get into this a little bit. Wait a minute. I got a couple more highs to say too. It's not woke. It's in a coma on life support. Yeah, it needs to wake up is what it really needs to do. Samuel Proctor, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. And Charlotte, it'll tell you the same thing that I said to Storyman Jack. Make sure you reach out to Netter and plan a play date with her so that we can share about your book. But anyway, let's get into this one. This one comes from Martin Montanaro. They were talking about it on the Pro Show today. Disney keeps telling Wall Street that Walt Disney World is for everyone. You know what? Let me zoom in on this a little bit because I should make use of the screen that I have. But For one Ohio family, traveling with a 2-year-old heart transplant survivor is nearly over the newly overhauled Disney World display. For crying out loud. Disney World Disability Access Service turned a milestone trip into a relentless exercise in humiliation, stress, and medical risk. Hey, let's go to the happiest place on earth for as much humiliation, stress, and medical risk as we can provide to our 2-year-old heart transplant survivor. Jedi Master 2022 says the ADA Act of 1992 was set up to prevent the discrimination against anyone with a disability at any building, theme park, anywhere is supposed to be accessible. Yep, we will cover that. That's for sure. Instead of making things easier for a child who survived organ failure, Disney forced her mother to repeatedly explain and emotionally relive her daughter's near-death experience just to access rides safely. The story, reported by WDW News Today, is one of the clearest examples yet of how Disney's 2024 DAS overhaul has crossed the line from stopping abuse into punishing families with legitimate medical needs. So let me back up. We talked about this before. Their DAS overhaul was about the fact that people were taking advantage just by, let's just bring a wheelchair and suddenly we'll get on rides easier and faster, and we can bypass lines and all this. And there was a lot of abuse. And look, I am not in favor of that. I do think Disney has a right and an obligation to do something about that. But they've effectively swung. I'm not even going to say they've swung the pendulum the other way. They took the pendulum off. They ripped it out by its gears and threw it to the other side of the room. Let's see. Radically tightened eligibility for its disability access service at both Walt Disney World and Disneyland, while Disney claimed the changes were meant to prevent abuse of the system. Many of the guests with serious medical conditions have since found themselves denied accommodations. Now, there was a time when this sort of negative press, this sort of thing getting out, would be an embarrassment to Disney. How much do you think they care now? The new process requires family to go through high-pressure video calls, justify their diagnosis, and rely on cast members to make case-by-case decisions, often without medical training. Think that through. You got some minimum wage, blue-haired weirdo kid deciding whether or not they think you are deserving of special treatment because of your medical condition. For Caitlin, a mother from Ohio, that system failed in the most devastating way possible. Now, I am not a lawyer and I do not claim to be one. I do read a lot of legal things, probably more than your average person does, but that does not by any means qualify me in this regard. And especially in this area, I know far less about disability law than anything else. But one thing I can say from working in security, I've gotten a whole lot of, you are not allowed to ask me what my medical condition is. I am allowed to bring in my emotional support gerbil, whether you approve of it or not. And I don't have to prove I have a specific medical condition. I mean, I've heard that so much, and then I hear, that Disney is making you do video conferences and case by case, and I mean, make it make sense, please. Caitlin's daughter Frankie is not a theoretical edge case. She is a toddler heart transplant recipient who depends on medication, strict schedules, and protection from crowded, enclosed spaces to stay alive. Again, I'm also not a doctor, but I know a lot more about this than perhaps your average person. We spent a lot of time uh, with keyboard warriors thinking they knew everything there was to know about immunology and virality and the immune system. And it became very clear very quickly that most of them knew absolutely nothing. But let me explain to you that in the 80s, many of us grew up with a another pandemic uh, that was handled very, very poorly. And that's a very kind way of saying it, by a certain Dr. Anthony Fauci. Yeah, that same Dr. Anthony Fauci. Uh, Look up the book, The Real Anthony Fauci. It starts with the AIDS crisis. It was a disease, it was a virus that was spread by, well, the way viruses generally are, right? Through it's a bloodborne pathogen. I need say no more. Um, it's not easily transferable, but there are certain high risk groups that had to be very, very concerned. But the important point was what this disease caused. It caused a loss of your immune system. Remember the boy in the plastic bubble from the 70s? Yeah, he had no immune system, so he could literally be killed by a common cold, right? So that boy was in a plastic bubble to hermetically seal him away from the world so that he wouldn't die. And literally leaving that bubble was a death sentence, just walking out into the open air. Well, I hate to tell you this, people don't really think about this, but that's exactly the same situation that every transplant recipient deals with. They are taking immunosuppressants so that they don't reject the organ that they have been given, which means they are susceptible to the common cold, to the flu, to every disease there is. So all of those protocols from COVID, yeah, they're the ones that have to be concerned about this stuff. Very, very, it literally is life threatening if you are not very, very careful in a circumstance like this. And one could say, well, you know, if she's that immunosuppressed, maybe she shouldn't be going to a park. The other truth is that when you're living with this condition, your life expectancy is not that long. It'll be a miracle if she has the equivalent of a full life. So for fuck's sake, get her to Disney World. Let her enjoy it. I digress, but it was an important digression. Caitlin described, not theoretical edge, yeah, protection from crowded, enclosed spaces to stay alive. I wanted to contextualize that for you. Caitlin described the moment her family's life was saved. 18 months ago, I stood in a hospital room and prayed for a miracle. She said, my daughter's heart is failing and we're running out of time. When the call finally came that a donor's heart was available, I felt like the world stopped. We knew another family was losing everything, so ours could have a chance. That is the weight I carry every single day. And that's something else you got to consider too. Disney World is not just dishonoring this one family. They're also dishonoring a family that lost a child so that this child could live. And I think there's a lot of people out there that would say to the greater degree that even if they don't have anything to do with these families, they have been affected by a need for donors, and they feel equally besmirched by Disney in this regard, just by association. In October 2025, The family took Frankie to Walt Disney World to celebrate her birthday, knowing full well that 18 months earlier, doctors weren't sure she would ever reach it. But Disney's disability system turned that celebration into a trial. Before their trip, Caitlin applied for disability access service and explained Frankie's transplant, her immunosuppressed condition, and the medical requirement to avoid long waits in crowded indoor queues. The Disney trip, the one we took, was supposed to be a celebration of survival, she said. It was supposed to feel like a fight. It wasn't supposed to feel like a fight. But the new disability access service system turned what should have been a magical experience into a series of hurdles no parent and no medically complex child should ever have to negotiate. There's a joke to be made here, but it's a very dark one, so I'm not going to. Disney's response to the family was blunt. According to Caitlin, the House of Mouse said, "You can wait in the regular line. If she struggles, she can leave and return later when you are closer to the front of the attraction, or ask for a return time." If she struggles. So, in other words, if she starts to die, then maybe we can get you to the front of the line. The suggestion was not just unrealistic, it was medically dangerous. Disney allegedly wanted the 2-year-old's heart transplant survivor to wait in a line and trigger a potentially dangerous situation before it would provide any kind of meaningful aid. Understand what that means to someone who's immunosuppressed, right? If she starts to struggle, like she starts to die, then we'll do something. Until then, you're just fine. If Frankie missed a medication window, stayed in a packed queue too long, or was forced to exit and re-enter repeatedly, it would put her health at risk. Inside the park, Caitlin was told that attraction cast members might offer return times if she explained Frankie's needs. Might, and if. But instead of relief, she encountered the same questions again and again. Why? Caitlin explained what she was forced to repeat her family's worst nightmares to strangers all day long. Look, this is really simple. You go through it once, and you should get some sort of a free and clear badge. You get to a queue, you hold it up. There's a protocol for that. That's all it takes. They can't even manage that. I have a 2-year-old who had a heart transplant. She's immunosuppressed. She explained over and over again. She can't stay in crowded lines. We need to minimize exposure. She's nonverbal. She takes medication throughout the day. And every time she said it, the emotional toll deepened. Every time I said the words heart transplant, I felt the ground shift beneath me. Tears filled my eyes. The same way it did the day we almost lost her shortly after she was born, Caitlin recalled. Trauma lives in her body, and reliving it 20 times a day is a special kind of exhaustion. That's an understatement. Some cast members tried to help. Others seemed unsure. Many suggested waiting in line anyway, forcing the family to leave again and again when it became unsafe. This is the exact opposite of what the disability laws were instituted for. With no meaningful DAS support, Caitlin and her family had no choice but to purchase Lightning Lane Multipass just to avoid the most dangerous queues. There you go. And Disney makes the suffering child pay more to be safe. Puts a premium on her life. I don't know anything that could be possibly lower than this. We need to secure some way to avoid the longest, most crowded queues, especially indoors, she said. That came at a steep, unexpected cost. Caitlin addressed Disney's justification for tightening the system. I've heard people say the DAS changes were designed to stop abuse, but the system is now punishing families whose needs were never abused in the first place. In other words, Disney is justifying their own abuse of these people so that they are not abused financially. Okay, Disney. In other words, Disney solved a PR problem by creating a human one. Exactly. Frankie's stroller was flagged as a wheelchair, which gave her a protected space and allowed it to be taken into queues. One of the few accommodations that actually worked. Oh, we're treating it like it's a wheelchair so it can be taken into a queue, because otherwise a stroller can't be taken into the queue. Right. Well, that's nice of them. I hope you hear the sarcasm in my voice. Despite everything, the family still tried to create memories. We took photos, we laughed, we watched her eyes light up when she saw characters. We celebrated the fact that she is here and she's alive, and we get to have these moments. And that we got to have these moments at all, Caitlin recalled. But none of that erased what Disney put them through. The Disney World Disability Access Service was created to help guests who cannot safely wait in standard lines. Today, it has become a bureaucratic obstacle course where families with serious medical needs must justify their existence to ride a theme park attraction, while a massive corporation attempts to upcharge them into an expensive fast pass system. For 2-year-old heart transplant survivor, Disney's system didn't provide dignity, safety, or compassion. It provided paperwork, suspicion, and emotional damage. And that should horrify anyone who still believes Walt Disney World is supposed to be for everyone. I think that is an excellent point. I've spent way too much time on Disney. I want to very quickly get to the promos for the week, and we'll come up on the other side very quickly with your comments. Just give me about 3 minutes here. And if the platform would cooperate with me, there.
You are watching Liquid Lunch, streaming every weekday at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Let's sip together.
This week on Netters Network, we're talking to somebody with a channel that every cinema and song enthusiast will really love. Wilkie's Movies and Music is growing by leaps and bounds, and we're going to give you a chance to find out about it, to subscribe, and maybe even become a member. This Thursday on Netters Network, 9 Central, 10 Eastern.
This week on Saturday Night at the Movies, at a top-secret research facility in the 1960s, a lonely janitor forms a unique relationship with an amphibious creature that is being held in captivity. Sally Hawkins and Doug Jones star in Guillermo del Toro's Oscar-winning dark fantasy, The Shape of Water. This Saturday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on Big Al Presents Films with Friends.
Every Sunday evening, Aged Boomer and Last Call with Troy Pacelli bring you the rundown of the week's geek news, or at least what they think is interesting. You may have heard about it elsewhere, but Boomer and Pacelli spin it like only two old geezers can. It's Geeky Geezers, every Sunday evening at 8 Central, 9 Eastern. Exterminate!
This week, on The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, Dr. Trevelyan seeks Sherlock Holmes' assistance in deciphering his benefactor's recent odd behaviour. Mr. Blessington plucked Trevelyan out of a virtually non-existent practice and set him up at a prestigious address. In return, Blessington would receive a percentage and would receive free medical care. The arrangement worked well for both parties, but recently, Blessington had been acting very strangely. Holmes is intrigued by the case, but subsequent events soon have him investigating a murder. Can Holmes diagnose the resident patient? This week on Last Call presents The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, Tuesday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern.
Dive into the eerie, surreal world of Twin Peaks with us every Tuesday. Join passionate superfans as we unravel mysteries, decode Lynchian symbolism, and sip some damn fine coffee together. Whether you're a Black Lodge veteran or a curious newcomer, our live discussions on YouTube and X will keep you hooked. Come join the conversation. Who killed Laura Palmer? Let's find out together on Deleted Scenes and Affiliates every Tuesday evening at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. We now return to our liquid lunch.
Samuel Proctor says, "Here, lawyer, suey, lawyer, sue." Yes. Okay, good. Thank you, Charlotte. And a family of 5 has to take out a second mortgage to go to Disney World. Yeah. We've talked about that too. They only want rich people. They don't want you poor slobs going to, dirty up their parks. Let's see. Yeah, where's your emotional support, Targ? He's out in the backyard guarding the fences. That's all the support I need. Is a guard dog. Wish I had the money and the time to train Cassie to be an emotional support. Well, see, that's the interesting thing. Emotional support dog doesn't actually have to be trained. All you have to do is say, "I need an emotional support animal," and they, they just gave me, I'll buy you a stuffed teddy bear, your emotional support teddy bear. How's that? Yeah, this sounds like a corporation. Yeah. Bingo, my friend. You get it. So Disney pushed DEI with one hand and practices discrimination with the other hand. Yep. Defund Disney. And just remember, everyone talks about, diversity, equity, inclusion. They don't believe it. It's corporate talking points. It's a cudgel that they could use to force you to behave the way they want and give you their money, or give them your money, I should say. Disney has gone from the Magic Kingdom to the evil Imperial Empire. The reason why they love China, thanking them for letting them film near a camp where you go to think really, really hard. This is going to be interesting to talk to my friend Englentine. I Love Comics channel, who used to work in Disney World, and see what he thinks of this. Interesting. I wonder how much Disney stock is owned by the Chinese banks. That's an excellent point. That is an excellent point. Oh, grandbaby, and you just woke up from a nap. Well, welcome, Penny. So good to see you. I would not have believed you were old enough to be a grandmother. But now that I think about it, had I had children, I would probably be old enough to be a grandfather. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I am going to have a little feature regarding Sophia this Friday, so make sure you tune in. Yeah, Daleks are cool. I'll give you a little hint. The Daleks are basically Sophia without makeup. Just saying. I wouldn't want to do that with anything Disney. You never know what you'll get. Yeah, exactly. For the last 25 years, everything is just another cudgel for the big corporate. Oh, 25 years? Have you not been paying attention before that? It's always been that way. It always has. Let's see if I can't squeeze in one more little quick talking point before I let you all go. Back to the share screen. Warner Brothers Discovery calls Paramount Skydance lawsuit meritless as David Ellison keeps pushing $30 share bid. Well, what's interesting is that and there will be an article probably beginning of next week that I'll be talking about that it's looking like there is starting to be some cracks in the veneer for the Warner stockholders. Some of the stockholders, in fact, maybe as many as half, are starting to be very interested in Paramount's deal and wants to take it. And they're getting very upset with Zaslav and his absolute silence to them about why he is not considering any other bids besides Netflix. It's beginning to smell of a backroom deal that is illegal. So there may be some fiscal responsibility happening very, very soon over at Warner Brothers. Netflix stock continues to dip. Yeah, we'll talk more about it next week. I just wanted to bring that up because I've been keeping you updated on it. And why is this a WTF? Just when you think that it's all said and done and, it'll just continue business as usual, there's another swing in the pendulum for this whole battle. It is ridiculous. And I want to say hi to Suzanne. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Sounds like Donald Gennaro took over the Disney parks. This park isn't meant just for the super rich. Sure, we can have a coupon day. Yeah, you're right. Exactly right. And Joe's Atmosphere, thank you so much. Of course, I know you are always in competition with Netter to be the first one to share out the stream. You are very, very good people. I super appreciate that. Anyway, I keep saying this, and you have to doubt me at this point because I keep saying it, and I keep bringing you articles about the Warner Brothers deal. It fascinates me. It's like a slow motion train wreck. Can you imagine if you had like some kind of a timey-wimey device, or you were like the Flash, right, where everything around you moved in super, super slow motion. Can't do anything about it, but you can see it happening, right? And you see a train crashing very, very slow. And it's like, I can't do anything about it, but I can't look away either. That's kind of how I feel about this whole Warner Brothers buyout deal. It's like, I don't know. Although in this case, I'm inclined to say it's heading towards a fork in the track, right? And one leads to a brick wall for the entire frickin' industry, and the other one circumvents the problem at least for a time. So there is a potentially good outcome. They can continue for a while, but we got to see which one Zaslav flips the switch on, or I should say, the shareholders. Remember, the shareholders, the ones who hold the money, make the decision. Everyone needs to remember that. You need to remember that, right? You get angry about these companies and what they're doing to us. Remember, you hold the power. By withholding your dollars from them, you're sending very loud messages. And if we all withhold our dollars, the companies literally die. It happens all the time. I know you have this idea of too big to fail. You've got to look past that. Look at all the companies that have been so big and failed. Look at the Enrons of the world. Look at Pan Am. Pan Am was so big that back in the 70s, they thought Pan Am would be the airline for when we started taking flights to the moon. They thought it would be a commuter line for the moon, and they went out of business. So there is no such thing as too big to fail. There was a company that was so big one time that it had its own military and it operated like a country. It was the East India Company. Yeah, how are they doing today? Just saying. I think this whole thing is ridiculous. They want to sell Netflix. They want to sell. Netflix wants to buy. Paramount wants to buy. They have to pick which one to sell to. He picked Netflix. That should be the end of it because he is backs out of the Netflix deal. Netflix would turn around and see them. That's not how this works, Nate. I'm sorry. You really don't understand how this works. Zaslav is making the decision, but Zaslav could literally be removed by the board of shareholders. They are the ones who really decide. Zaslav is not God. He thinks he is. He's trying to set himself up as one. But you have to understand that Zaslav is the only person in favor of this. At least half the shareholders of Warner Brothers are against it. And the entire entertainment industry, other than Netflix, is against it. Everyone is against it. The U.S. government is against this deal. When you have Donald Trump and Pocahontas in agreement on something, that tells you something, Nate. Everyone. What is that movie with Gary Oldman? Everyone is against this. I don't understand what the big deal is. Everyone else does. He must hold the line, just like the guy in the bunker, right? Nate, you must be pulling my leg. You really must be. I mean, come on. Yeah, my shares of East India Company are now the wallpaper in my bathroom. Exactly right. That's the way these things go, guys. I want to thank you so much. I take these things to get my blood pressure up, and you guys are able to make me laugh about it. I super appreciate it. You guys really are the best way to spend my lunchtime. But I need to get back to a whole bunch of projects that I need to get working on. I got to get that chorizo made for Netter. So, guys, I want to thank you so much. Hang out with Doomcock tonight. I got my D&D game tonight. Tomorrow night, Netter's Network will be hanging out with Corey from Wilkie's Movies and Music. Looking forward to Last Call with all of you all. So you all take care. Have a great one. And stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Drink responsibly. And I'll see you all on the next one.
Goodbye. Hope to see you again real soon.
So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun, our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon, chasing that jazz under the high noon.